So we have to start creating a new project, and then we can see how we add that in Git and all. Okay, so let's start with. So hmm, I'll be taking this DevOps folder under project. So I've created one folder. You can create two, like one folder. Like I've created projects. Here we'll be having all the projects which we will be creating either here, or we will be creating, or we will be pulling some projects from the GitHub, or else we will be doing all the projects here. So that's why I created a projects folder here. Okay, let's start with that project. So we'll create a basic project as of now. That will be a uh, .NET project. Okay, so let's see. I have these with me. Okay, so I've already documented this, like steps for creating a ASP.NET Core MVC project. Okay, so first of all, you can go copy this, and you can go to the terminal from here. So you can switch wherever your project is. Like my project is in E drive, so I'll switch like this. Okay, so now there's this project folder. As of now, there is nothing. If you do a dir command here, since this is a terminal, there is nothing. Okay, no files, nothing. So let's create a project here. Clear will not work. CLS. Okay.
Sir, this we will do in our local Windows only.
As of now, we are doing in local only. Like,
Okay.
as
Okay.
of now, we are starting from the very basic. Okay.
Okay. All
Create
right.
a project. That's very basic. Okay. So projects folder we have. We navigated to this folder. After that, like we'll create one file here, or one folder here. That project, whatever we are creating. So here I'm creating like one project called Hello World Demo. Okay. So first of all, what you have to do, you have to create a folder here. So MD, make directory, and then Hello World Demo. Okay. Now if you do a dir here, a folder named Hello World Demo is created. If you even come here inside the projects, then also you can see a Hello World Demo is created here. Inside this, as of now, there is nothing. Okay. So this is our project as of now, and it's an empty project. There is nothing here. Okay. Now what else? Now let's go inside that cd Hello World Demo. There is nothing inside Hello World Demo as of now. Let's see what else. Now, since we are creating a project for ASP.NET framework, okay. So let's for ASP.NET, for creating a project, there is a solution file. There's a solution file. Okay. So you will be running some command here, like inside this folder, Hello World Demo, .NET new solution. Okay. So if I type this command, .NET new solution, the template, it will create a .NET template file over here. Okay. It is saying welcome to .NET 7.0 SDK version. Okay. Installed an ASP.NET Core HTTPS development certificate, all these. Okay. It is showing the repositories. Okay, what's new in the .NET, you can go and check. Okay, all these things. So as of now, we just created like .NET new solution. So it created a template file. Now that template, that is a .NET template ASP.NET, and that will help us in creating this project and running this project. Okay, so if you go back there inside hello world demo, can you see a solution file is created here? Can everyone see this solution file?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this solution file is created. Now this is an empty template file, just a template, .NET framework template file. Okay, now this is, now inside this we'll be creating an hello world app. Means we'll be creating one app service over, like we have the app service all in Azure. We are creating app service, then we are having some code inside that. Okay, all this. So here this ASP.NET Core project, we'll be creating an MVC project. Okay, what is MVC? Anyone? What is MVC? Anyone who worked on
Model view controller.
yes, model view controller. So anyone who does not know what is MVC, modern view controller. Okay, so let's create that inside .NET new MVC. Okay, Hmm, .NET new MVC hyphen hyphen hello world. Yeah, name hello world app is there, and then version is net 6.0. Why we take a net 6.0 here? Why we take net 6.0? Because there is 7, there is 8 also, but 6 is the long time support version. Okay, hello world app, and then the version is net 6.0. Oh, yes. Now if you see here in the .NET framework, last version was 4.8, then this one, this framework version, this is core version. Okay, so .NET 5.0 standard term support, it was for 1.5 years. 7.0 also is it's a STS, standard term support, that is for 1.5 years only. But this 6.0 is long time support. Okay, for 3 years. Why we are not taking 8.0? Still in preview. Okay, that's why. So most stable version is net 6.0 as of now. So that's why we are going here with 6.0. Let's see what error it is giving. Version 6.0. Okay, let's go with 7 and try with 7. Not sticking. see.
.NET 5 is latest version, right?
Pardon?
.NET 5.0 is latest version, right?
No, see, can you see this?
Yeah.
Yeah, 5.0 was standard term support for 1.5 years. 6.0 was long term support.
Okay.
Okay, so we are using 6.0 only here. Okay, 7.0 is also there, but
Mhm.
it's also standard term support. Okay. I was just trying to create from here only. Otherwise, there is one more option to create the project. If you have Visual Studio 22, you can download this Visual Studio. Okay, this is very simple. You don't have to do anything here. Okay, just click on New Project, search for the project and create it. Like here, if I create ASP ASP.NET. Can you see ASP.NET Core Web App Model View Controller? Once I click on this, it will directly create a project for me. Click on this next, it will create a project for me. I don't have to do anything with this. But since I was trying to create like project from here as a basic, that's what I was.
Put .NET 6.0 instead of .NET 6.0.
.NET
6.0.
No.
Mm.
Mm.
So instead of version, let's put framework .NET 6.0. Yeah.
Yes.
Create it.
Yes. It must have created a project file. So if you go here, last time version was also running for me. I don't know. Something happened. Hmm.
I just put this message in ChatGPT.
Okay. So inside this folder is created Hello World app, and here you can see all the files which are created related to this project. Controller, models, OBJ, then properties, views, www.root. So whenever you run any kind of service, there is a server created like web server and all. So inside this folder you will be having that CSS, JS library files and whatever will be displayed. Okay, so you will see all the things over here in your. So all these files are created here in this project. Similarly, if you start with this also, it will create all these files directly. You don't have to run all these commands. It will create a folder, it will create a file. Since we are starting from the basic, so it's showing like this. For some of you, this may work in your console. But if does not this does not works, you can go with framework as well. Okay. So I'll write it here. You can run it like that, framework. So if this is not working, you can go with this. Now, once you created this, you have to add that project, whatever the project is created. If you go here inside this, a project file, hello world CS project. Okay, CS proj. This is created. Now you have to add that project to hello world M. Okay, so .NET solution add means that template file, whatever the solution file is there, you have to add that to the project. Okay, so .NET solution add hello world CS project. So if you go into the terminal, clear here and then run this. Add it to the solution. Now your hello world app.cs project is added to your solution file. Okay, that template file. Merged with the template file, you can say. Now let's go to that app. Hello world app. Now what we'll be doing? We'll be restoring this project. Okay. Now restore means it will download all the packages which are required to run an application. It will download all the package while doing a restore. Okay. So command will be .NET restore. All the projects are up to date. So there's no need for the restore. Now we'll build this project. Building means after restore, you have to perform a build. So what build will do? It will build your project with all the dependencies. Dependencies means if any packages are there which are involved. So it will build your project, because directly you cannot run your project in any of environments. Like, so what you have to do, you have to build it first. After building, it will create some package. Okay, it will create some package, or you can say artifact. Okay, and you can run that. Now just run this. Now .NET build, as of now, if we run .NET build, the configuration which will be there is the debug configuration. Now there are two types of configuration, debug and release. Okay, so if you run like this .NET build, so it will be having a debug configuration. So if you run, go here, .NET build. Now this will build, start building your project.
So what if it's a Python project?
Python project?
Yeah, I mean, then now we are running some .NET.
See, now we are running .NET. We will be running Java as well. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So commands will be different for each of the programs.
Yes, definitely. For each and every project, if you go to Node.js, then also there will be different commands. Okay.
Okay.
But basically, these build and all should be taken care by developer, right? Not DevOps engineer.
Yes, this will be taken care by developers. Since we are learning DevOps, so we are just building. This is like some knowledge. You have some knowledge about the project, like how to create a project, all those things, right?
Okay.
These things we don't have to take care. Everything will be written by developers.
Suppose if we want to set up Maven build in DevOps means the developer should provide the details and all, right? How the
Yes.
Maven build should be like that,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So you should know actually how a project is created, how to create a project, how to restore it, how to build it.
Some basic things. Yeah.
Yeah, basic things. These are basic things. So as a DevOps engineer, you will be like providing the infrastructure, like mainly DevOps portal. You will be handling that portal. You will be creating pipelines. You will be creating boards and all. Okay, all those things. But writing code, source code, and all, developing a project, this is a part of developers only.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes what happens whenever vacancy comes, like for sometimes they ask for DevOps, but they also ask in the JD that you should know some development also. It's like that. Okay. So basic
Okay.
development you should know. Rest when you will go to that organization, and once you start working, it will take care of itself. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Abhishek.
So now,
Understood, sir. Thank you.
yeah, we have built this project. Okay. Now, after building the project, what we'll do? We'll run this. Okay, we'll run this. So if you go and write this command like .NET run, it start building the project and it will run the project. Now the project is running, and at which port it is running? Can you see? Localhost HTTP 5120, right? Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
So if I will not take directly, let's localhost 5120. Let's go here. Hmm. Advanced. Can you see? Welcome. It's showing you a welcome.
Mhm.
Welcome
Yes,
page
sir.
is displayed. Okay, hello world app. So in HTTPS, it is not secured. That's what it was giving a warning there. But with an HTTP, can display. Okay, same page it will be displayed. So your project is running, but this is as of now it is running in a debug mode. Debug mode means your terminal is still on, right? It is working. It is project is running in the debug mode. But as soon as I'll stop this, I'll I'll press a control C or anything, or I'll stop this, your project will stop. Okay. So again, if you do HTTP localhost 5120, okay, now your project is running, but as soon as I put a control C, see, application started, press control C to shut down. If I close this or if I press control C, your application will not work. So I press a control C here. So application is shutting down. Now if you run, your application will not be available. See? So how you will be running a project? You have to publish your artifact somewhere. Like you have to publish your artifact somewhere. So for that purpose, what you can do? You can, before running or like after .NET build, what you can do? You can publish. you can publish your artifacts. Okay. So there's a command called .NET publish. Again, if you will run that .NET run, it will be started running the project. Now, as of now, it was in the debug mode. There is one more mode like release mode. Okay, so if you do this, okay, build is successful. Now you can go and run with the release mode as well. Okay. See, again, your application must be running over there. See,
Actually, which stage is this one? After the developer developing the code, they will run the test the code, right? That stage, right? This one.
that is a different. As of now, we are just developing a project. We are seeing how to create a project and all.
Okay.
Yeah. Stop this. Now, I told you that this is running in the debug mode. This project is running in the debug mode. So if you press Ctrl C or close this window, it will stop running. Now, what do you want? That either you close this window or do anything. This project should work, right?
Yes.
So you should need some folder where you have all the artifacts of that build. So there is a command called .NET publish. Okay, .NET publish. Now you can have some folder. Now let's see, there is this project, Hello World project. Either you can have it here inside the project, inside this project folder, or you can have somewhere outside as well. No worries. So let's have one folder over here. Okay. Like this. Now I'll publish this. So what it will do?
All the dependencies and
Yeah, with all those things, it will create a artifact over there. Now, if you go to the project, can you see all these things, all these files? I think it should have created one folder as well. We should have created one folder over there, like publish and all. Okay, but it directly created all these things here. Now, these all things, what you are seeing, as of now, you are seeing all these files, but how we use while deploying to any environment, like you are deploying this to any app service. So it will be bundled as a some format, like in here in .NET, you have you can say you can create a .zip file for all these files, .zip. Okay, and you can upload that file in the pipeline or anywhere. If you are using a pipeline and you need some environment to run this project, so you can create a package here. What package? What kind of package? .zip package. So there can be different packages. So if we talk about .NET, .NET you can have .zip, and also you can have .dll. So .zip will be a zipped folder, DLL will be files, like whatever you are publishing, you can run using DLL files. Okay, you can run a project. So you have these. Now, if I talk about Java, in Java we have, so some of you may worked in, maybe working in .NET also. Some of you will get to work in Java as well, Java projects. So for Java projects, there are 3 files only. .jar. Now these .jar files is having nothing, just the Java code and the dependencies. So only Java code plus dependencies. Okay. Second kind of packages .var. Okay. So this var is having Java code plus dependencies plus some HTML file as well, HTML code. And then comes the EAR, enterprise apps. Okay. So these enterprise apps having Java code plus the dependencies plus HTML plus some cascading style sheets, CSS also. Okay, so that EAR project is you can see it's a nice project. You can have CSS files and all. Okay, so jar, var, and EAR. Okay, jar project is very simple. Var project is more than that. You can have HTML pages as well, displaying something on that. And EAR, enterprise applications, you may have HTML and CSS as well in the code. So .NET and Java. There are many other.
Abhishek, yeah. So in war, right? So war, we can have entire front end code like CSS as well as HTML. What you are saying, right? JavaScript, everything we can have in war.
War. Okay, you are saying, you are telling that, or you are asking?
No, I'm telling, yes, we can have everything in a war.
Okay,
The
okay.
web application. Yeah.
Okay. See, all these things I was doing 5 to 6 years back, 7 years back. Okay, so maybe something has changed. Okay, but
Okay.
what earlier it was, I'm telling this, something maybe I have added. Okay. So if you guys are like, as of now, currently you are learning something and it's like something is added, okay, new, you can always tell, no worries. Okay. So as of now, what I learned at that time was this. Okay. Got it?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Now I think who was telling this?
Yeah, it was me.
Rajiv.
Sorry.
Yeah. So now, according to him, like CSS also is there. Okay. So maybe now they have okay. So
and EAR and in .ER package, right? So in there we normally have EJB component.
okay.
So that is the only difference. That
Okay.
makes it enterprise.
Okay. Okay. So you are working with the development team or like how?
Yes, yeah.
That's
I'm like developer.
yes, correct. Okay. That's why you know that. So these are things there can be like Node, in about Node.js. What are
Not much, yeah, little bit only.
package file? What package file we have in Node.js?
We use NPM for this.
NPM, na?
Yeah, NPM.
Yeah.
Node package manager.
I was just confirming. I was also knowing very little for Node.js. Okay. So
NPM, sir.
NPM
Manager.
package.
M, yes.
NPM, right?
Yes, M.
Manager.
Okay, Node.js. Similarly for, I don't know what for Python. Python, because I haven't learned Python. I cannot tell that. Okay. Similarly for Python and other projects also. Okay. So you can have different frameworks for developing some application and then running into some environment. So as of now, I can tell you about .NET. Also, I can tell you about Java. Okay, because I have worked on these two. So this is, you can create a zip file out of this. Now, once you publish this, you can go to this folder. Okay, we should have put this into some folder, but let it be. Okay, now go, after going here, you can run this hello world.dll. Now this is a DLL file. Similarly, when you are running something, installing something, like when we build some package, like for example, in my organization, we are having some projects. There we build the package, and whatever the artifact is created, inside that there is a MSI file. Now this is MSI is nothing but the installer file, Windows installer file. So whosoever wants to download that application can download, and then they can run this MSI file, and they will be having that application inside Windows machine. Okay, can be installed. Then there are some kind of file like .exe. Now .exe is executable file. Executable means you can directly run these. They have their own environment, everything. You will double click it and they will run it. You don't have to install like the MSI file. Okay. Similarly, here there are .dll files in .NET. So .dll, they are all same, like you can run using this DLL file. You can run the application using the DLL files. So if you come here and see in the projects, whatever we have published, you will be seeing a hello world app.dll. And if you can see, this is the application extension. Okay. Application extension file is the exe file. This is the DLL file. So this DLL file will be having all the drivers inside it, which will be running this exe file. Now, if you go to this folder, to the projects, so hello world demo, if I come out, if I come to the projects, if you do a dir, you will be seeing all the files here. Now, if you want to run the project, simple .NET, you can just call that DLL file. Okay, so it will run your project. Earlier, it was running in the debug mode. Okay, now you have that package, and from package, directly from the package, you are running this project. You don't have to build and run each and every time. Directly call that file and you will start, the project will start running.
Abhishek, is this equal to hosting this on IIS?
Pardon?
Is this process equal to hosting this on IIS?
Yes.
So, because I used to work on this, but I never used this command line statements.
Okay. And this is, see, now this has changed, port has changed. That's why it is not displaying. It's 5,000 now. Not HTTPS. Yes. Can you see now the page? again stop this. So application stopped. Now you can again call that file and you can start the application. Now you don't have to build and run every time after creating that package.
Publish.
Yeah, publish package. Let's go back and stop. So this is how we are creating the project. A very simple project this is. Now whatever I have shown you, you can achieve through this. If you don't want to do this, just do one thing. Like I have searched for ASP.NET. First of all, I'll minimize this. Everyone, you can go and download Visual Studio. Okay. Maybe some of you are having. So if you go and search for Visual Studio, don't install Visual Studio Code. Okay, go for 22 or either 19 you can go. Okay, so go to Visual Studio, you can download, or you can click on this. Okay, you can download this Visual Studio. Once downloaded, it will ask to install whatever projects like you want to run with the Visual Studio. It will ask you. Okay, once this is done, it will take some, I think if you create if you choose to run Python, ASP.NET, so on the left hand blade, when you will be installing Visual Studio 2022, on the left hand blade while installing, it will ask you which projects you want to run. Okay, all those, so you can select all those which you want to create and run with this Visual Studio 2022, but it will consume the size of your RAM. Okay, so by choosing 2 or 3 projects only, like .NET Core and this Python, Node.js, okay, it takes around 5 GB. If you choose all, it will take around some 32 GB of your space. Okay, so like if you want to run a .NET project, Java project, just choose only those ones. Okay, don't choose all the things. So as of now, I've choose only 2. Okay, now if you go and create a project here, so I want to say I want to create this MVC. Okay, you can search here for ASP. It is showing because I already created. So if you search for ASP.NET, it will show you like this model. You can select this. You can proceed to next. You can name your application. I named it Web Application 1. Okay. Why it is staying? Because I already created some application to demonstrate something. That's why it is showing. Okay. So Web Application 1. Then where to create in the Azure projects. Solution name will be Web Application 1. Place solution and project in the same directory. Okay, so you can also do this if you want. Now let's create a projects 1 here. Okay, I don't want to merge that. Okay, so let's go to next. Framework .NET 7 standard support. You can go for 6 also, long time support. So this will give you a UI to create. Now configure for HTTPS. If you don't want, you can uncheck this. You can choose individual account, Microsoft Identity Platform. For authentication, you can choose. Okay, you can choose none also. I can create this project. I can run this project. I can configure authentication with Microsoft Azure Entra ID. So from there, I can set whom I want to let log in, whom I don't want to let log in. So here you can choose like individual accounts, Microsoft Identity Platform, whatever you will choose, it will work like that. You can choose none also as of now. Okay. Configure HTTPS means it will run over the HTTPS as well. Okay. Enable Docker. As of now, we are not learning Docker, so I'll not tell this. Okay. Do not use top level statements. Leave this as it is. Like you can create a project here. It will create a project for you. Now what you can do? You can run from here directly. If you click on this, there were build errors. Would you like to continue run? What is failed here? This project is configured to use SSL. To avoid SSL warnings in the browser, can choose the trust self-sign certificate. Okay, I'll choose that. Unable to start the program. What are the errors here? And this is showing error.
Sheikh, I have a Visual Studio in my system.
Mm-hmm.
I only installed, but I don't know how to launch and how to do.
Directly, you can run from here. If you can see that web application one or whatever you created, whatever the name, you can directly click on here and you can directly run your application.
I don't know whether it is correct or not. It is a Visual Studio Enterprise 2022.
Mhm. Can you share your screen?
Yeah.
Because on Sunday only I run this project because for that solution architect class. So just
Abhishek, can you please create once more because that's a problem in your project actually. As I checked here,
Mhm.
so actually you have selected their certificate, but certificate not required as per the demo project.
Mhm.
So you can remove that and create once more. It will resolve the issue. Please delete that project and create once more.
Okay, then you can stop sharing. I'll share. Okay.
There is a problem. You have checked the one checkbox related
For
certificate.
HTTPS.
HTTPS, yeah.
Yes, sir, that is not required actually. That's why it's getting problem.
Okay. Okay.
You remove that and create once more. Yes.
Yeah, Abhishek, I have one doubt. So you manually creating the package and publishing here, right?
Pardon?
You are manually creating the package of the code
Need
and
to close
publishing here.
the studio.
Yes.
Close the studio, yes.
So Abhishek, generally the developers put the code in the repos, right? And from
Mhm.
there it will be running.
Yes. Yes.
and creating package.
Command.
Actually, we are starting from very basic level. We'll be first creating all those things, creating the files, and then we'll be going to the repository and all, like one by one.
Yes.
Got it.
So open this one. New project. Not here. I'll create in the DevOps.
Yes, yes. Go to next. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I need to.
Yes, yes, yes. Right. Now it's fine. Yeah.
Project is ready.
Yes, it's ready. You can direct run. Yeah.
Yes. Now it is building the project. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Can you see? So
Yes.
yeah, from this Visual Studio 22, it provides that environment that you can directly create your project. Okay. Now, whatever you are seeing here, like if you go and create a new one, new project, as of now, it will not show. Need to stop this.
In running mode. Yes. That's why.
Stop the debugging mode. Yes. If you go and you create a new project, whatever you are seeing here is all installed with this Visual Studio 22. Okay. Now, while installing, you have to choose. Okay. You have to choose the platforms, what platforms you want. Okay. Then it will show you up here. If you choose all, it will show all. If you choose some of the platforms like .NET Core, or you select Python, Node.js, then it will show all those things over here, all the project types in that framework. So I have chosen .NET, Node.js, and then one more I've chosen total of 3. So it is showing all the project types in those 3 frameworks. So you have to choose, and then directly you can go and directly create, and then you can run your application from here. That's it you have to do with Visual Studio. Okay, since we are learning just how to create a project, we don't have to do anything with the development side here.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We are just creating, yes.
Yeah,
We are
just-
just creating the structure, infrastructure.
Yes, just
Yes.
creating a project infrastructure, and these
Yes.
commands will be needed if you run it from console. But
Right.
if you don't want, you can directly go to Visual Studio, directly create any kind of project, and directly start running that project. That's what you have to do here with the Visual Studio. Don't have to run any commands here.
You don't need to do any coding, right?
Yeah, here you don't have, it will create by default, it will create all the files for you. Yeah, it will create there also, it will create, but you have to run some commands. You have to perform some commands here to create a project, to create all those files. But here, like just with a click, you can create a new project. All the files will be created.
Abhishek,
Mm-hmm.
I have an exam. Can I leave?
Yeah, sure, you can leave.
Only this you will be telling, right? Regarding .NET and all today?
Yeah, this will be just one more thing I'll be telling. Like as of now, we can have till 9:30. So Git and all I'll be telling.
Okay.
So I'll be giving just a review. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Git, I don't know, that's the reason.
Yeah, I'll be giving a review. You can go through the recording. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Now, once you create this project, now some environment I'll be needing to run this. As of now, I'm running in my local. But if I want that every other person can run this project or run this application from their end, I need some environment to host this application. So I cannot host it from here directly. So I need some version control to keep this code over there. And that version control, I told you, while creating a project, there are 2 types. Like here we have, one is Git, which is distributed version control. Another one is TFVC, Team Foundation Version Control. That is centralized. Okay.
Yes.
So most of the times, that TFVC is the old one. Like very less companies are using it. Okay. Who don't want to switch to Git. So like they are using TFVC. I have never seen I've never worked with any project like which they are where they are using TFVC. Okay. So anyone worked on TFVC as well?
TFS I am using.
Okay. Team
Using
Foundation
TFS.
Server.
Yes, yes. Right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So actually Team Foundation there is, it's like this. Like TFS is there, Team Foundation Server, and then
Right.
there is TFVC. Now TFVC is nothing but the implementation of TFS only inside the Azure
Okay.
DevOps. Okay, so this is implementation of TFS.
Mhm.
TFS in Azure DevOps.
Okay.
Here TFS, I think this is a server. Okay, now you have
So TFS.
yeah, you need to have some on-premise facility to install TFS. Okay,
Mhm.
then you can use. But TFVC is the service provided by TFS. Okay, so they have implemented this. This is the implementation of TFS only inside Azure DevOps.
So I think
Similarly, Git.
Mhm.
Okay, now if you find it Git inside Azure DevOps. Okay, so
Yes.
here we have this Azure repos. Okay, Azure repos is nothing but the implementation of Git only. Implementation of Git. If you go while creating a project, we have seen that either you can have TFVC, either you can have Git. So if you go here inside the project, if you create a new project here, give any project name. Choose private, go to advanced. In the version control, either you can have Git or TFVC.
Yeah.
So TFSVC is the implementation of TFS, and this Git in the Azure repos, it is implementation of GitHub only.
Right.
Okay. So you
So,
can have these things.
Abhishek, actually, in my company, actually using both actually,
Okay.
because they
For
have a
some
different
other
project.
different projects, right?
Yes. Right.
People use that. It's similar to that, like Azure is providing you Azure DevOps services. And then Azure is also providing you Azure DevOps server. Here, you will not need any server. No need of server or any kind of infrastructure. Since this is provided by Azure, you just need to use the DevOps services. That's it. And mostly these are free. But this is not free. Here you have to set up. So you need to set up an on-prem server. And then there you can use this Azure DevOps server. Okay. You need to set up an on-premise server, and this is not free. This cost around some $652 or something per month. I don't know, something like this. Okay, and that too with number of users, like 5 users, 10 users. Then if the number of user increases, then this price will also increase. But here Azure DevOps services are totally free. But there is one thing, like if you run the pipelines here, then you can run a free pipeline in this free account for 1800 minutes. You can also run a parallel job with that pipeline. So pipeline and job we'll see in coming class. Okay. So this is free. Azure DevOps services are totally free. And this is not free. Azure DevOps. Similarly, you have TFS and then TFVC.
Right. Yeah.
So we'll be using Git only, because nowadays like 95%, 90 to 95% using Git only. Okay. Maybe some or the other time, since if you must be having a long running project, like it must be running from 8 years, 10 years. That's why they have not changed as of now, because like migrating a project or migrating a repository to other repository is a difficult task. It is a time consuming task. Okay, that's why like they thought that like who will be doing that. Okay, just let it go with TFS only or TFVC.
Okay.
Yeah. So whatever new projects, or like 5 to 6 years back, whatever the projects will be, you will be seeing Git only.
Yes, right.
Now, if I talk about Git, this is version control. So in this Git, so first thing I told you that whenever some developer is working, okay, so this is the developer. And he's coming and checking in the code into this file. He's working on some project. Okay. So this is what we call this file. What we call this?
Which file, sir?
This file we call it as a working copy.
Working.
Yeah, in that language we call it as a working copy, where some developer will write the source code. Now he's going there and he's writing the source code in that working copy. Okay, this is the working copy, writing the source code here. This is the source code.
They also called like a local repository or local branch.
Yeah, I'll tell you that. Okay.
Okay,
So
okay.
yeah, this is the developer one. He's coming on day one. He's working on the working copy. Now, once he worked on this, he saved and then he goes back to them. Second day he comes again. He again works on this. He again works on this. Again, writing some code in this working copy. Okay. Writing some more lines. Writing and testing it. Found some lines here not appropriate, so say deleted some lines here. Okay. Then again third day, fourth day. So these are working copies. Now there is a developer 2. He is also working something associated to this only. Okay. There is a developer 2. Now this developer 2 is also having some working copy here. And he is also working, writing some code. But now when I say this working copy, and this is associated to this only, this project or this module, you can say he's also working here. He's also working like 1 day, 2 day. Now what they are doing here, say for example, they are working on some module, or say there is epic going on. Okay. There's an epic, or you can say module as well. Why I'm saying epic? Because we opted for some process, right? Say agile process, we opted for a scrum process. So there is an epic, and this epic is nothing but, you can say it as a module. Now what kind of module it is? Say payment module. Okay. Now when they are working on this payment module, inside this epic you must be having some features, right? Features. They will be working on small features. So say first feature they are working on in the payment module, credit card. Second feature, say there's a second feature as debit card. Okay. There can be a third also, like UPI, you can say. Third you can say UPI. Then there can be a fourth. Nowadays it's popular, pay later. So all these are features inside the module. Now why I'm saying that this is connected to this, because they are working on the same thing, payment module. Both the developers working on the same thing, payment module only. Okay, so that's why they are related. Now how, if this developer wants to know, like what are the things, if he wants to inherit some code from here or doing some like he's doing, so they are, so here both of them, they are working on some code. Say some lines are different in this code, right? Some lines are different, like here 4 lines are different, but other lines are same as this working copy. So how they will be on the same page, right? They will be connecting each other. Okay, he will be saying, okay, for credit card we have to do this, write this source code and all. For debit card he's writing something, but some or the other way around they are on the same page only. Like credit card also having a 16-digit number. Okay, debit card also having a 16-digit number. You have to give that number. Okay, so here also they want like 16-digit number. Here also they want that code at the back side of the card. What we call it? CVN number. What is that?
CVV.
Huh? CVV number.
CVV.
Yeah, they want CVV. Okay, then they want expiry. Now, apart from the difference in the card, that is the same thing. With the debit card also you want these, right?
Yes.
Here also you want 16-digit number. Here also you want CVV. Here also you want expiry. All these things. So some or the other source code will be same on these. So they have to be on the same lane. Okay. So what they will do, if they will not use the version control, then he will not be sending through email. Sending a copy of the code through email or Teams is like a security issue. Okay, you cannot send the code through email or this. So they want what they want. They want version control. Now having a version control, now we have this code over here. Whatever we created here, we have this code over here. Okay, in our Hello World demo. Inside this, you will be having all the files and all. Okay, now what I want to do, I want to push this to the repository. Now here, when I'm talking about version control, I told you that in version control, we have centralized and we have distributed. In centralized, we directly perform one-on-one, like you work on the working copy and you push the code, pull the code, work on the working copy, push the code. That is the central server. Okay. So go to here in Azure DevOps. This is the working. Centralized version control, there is a repository, pulling the updated code, working on the working copy and then commit it back. Pulling the code, then commit it back. All the developers will do that. Now, there is a big drawback that at each and every minute, while you're working on your working copy, you have to connect to this repository. If you have any network issue with this server for 4 hours, for 5 hours, you cannot work. It's not the issue with the distributed control. Now in the distributed version control, whenever they pull something, so a copy of the centralized repository will be there inside your local. So if the connection, there are connection issues with the central server here in the distributed version control, no worries. The developer can still work with the working copy. Since he is having the repository in his local Git, which is called a local Git. This central server is called the GitHub or Azure Repos. Okay, in our case, it's Azure Repo, but this is local Git. So I'll be working with the local Git. And once I've done all my work, at the end of the day, what I can do, I can push each and everything over there. Similarly, next day when I'm coming, I'll be pulling a updated copy from the central repository. I'll have that update copy in my local Git. And then I'll again start working here. Once done, I'll commit it back to the local repository and then I'll push it back to the central repository. Similarly, on the third day, or say there are developer 1, developer 2, developer 3. They are working on the same feature, payment module, or same module they are working in. This developer is working on credit card feature. This is working on debit card feature. This developer is working on UPI payments. So some or the other place they should be at the same pace. Okay. So for doing that, they need a version control. And what type of version control? Distributed version control. Okay, what we will be using. So that is a distributed version control. Now, what is the first thing you will do for working with Git? So first thing I'll be doing is I need to have a Git. So I'll do that. So go to the Git, directly search for Git on Windows. Okay. You will get this link. Go to this link. Okay. gitscm.com, source code management. Go to this Git. If you are having Windows machine, like go for standalone installer. So I've done this one, 64-bit Git. I've installed this. So once you install this, it will ask you for some option. Okay, just check those options and you can install. So I've already installed here. Okay. Let's close this. Okay, so I've already installed this. Once you install this, always you can go here to go to the projects. What you will check? I'll check for git -- version. Can you see git version 2.42.0 Windows? Whatever the versions will be there, it will show you up here, different versions. Okay. Click here to download the latest one. Already it downloaded me the latest one, 2.42.0 version of Git for Windows. Now, when you do it, there will be two things you will be getting. You will either get a Git GUI, graphical user interface. If I click on this, can you see this graphical user interface of Git? Create a new repository. Now, whatever I'll be creating here, it is for my local. I can create a new repository. I can clone. I can open. So I can work on local also. I can work on remote repository also. So what are the tools? Tools for Git. So you will be getting a Git GUI, graphical user interface, which I've shown here, this one. Either you can work with this or you will get Git CLI, command line interface, and we call it here as Git bash, that command line interface. If I go here, can you see Git bash here? Can you see Git bash?
Yes, yes, sir.
So there is a Git GUI, there is a Git bash. Click on Git bash, it will open. See, a Git bash is opened here. So it implemented Git bash with my controller only. Command line, see, Git bash is existing here. Like in the same terminal, you can go with your command prompt as well. Okay. If you want to change, you can go with Git bash as well. This is my desktop. If I do all the Linux command will be working with this Git bash. All the Linux commands. Since this is a Linux interface, all the Linux commands will be working. So you can say, as of now, this is my root directory. If I want to go back to my C, I want to go to the root directory. I came to my root directory now. If I do an ls here, you can see all the directories which I am having is showing. I want to go to my home directory, so I have to go to the user. I think this user. Okay, so let's go to user. Inside the user, share SSL. Other things here, it was my documents, desktop. Okay, contacts, app data, templates. Now you have to see here, because since this is a Linux interface, you can say secured shell. This is working on Windows only. It will be showing all the things. Sometimes it will be showing like hidden folders, or you need to understand this thing, because we are working on the Windows only. It will be showing all the directories, but at the same time, it will be having a Linux environment as well. Okay, so if I go here back again, where to go for the C? So C users and mission, app data, Azure application data, desktop. Okay, downloads, my documents, music, links. Okay, there's a start menu there. So send to favorites, recent. I'll show you this one tomorrow. If you search for the, if you go with the command prompt, let's go to the E drive, because we are having project over there. Now go to CD Azure DevOps, not admin, DevOps. Go to Azure DevOps. Inside this, you can go to projects. Yes. Now here ls will not work, so you have to do a dir. Okay, since this so you have that where is that hello world demo. Okay, that is your this project. Okay, now what you have to do, you have to go inside the hello world project. Hello world demo, go inside it. Now here you have to create some local repository. Now when we create a local repository, it will create a local git for us. It will create a local git for us. Okay, so there is a command to create a local git init. It will initialize a local repository, and it will create a .git hidden folder, and that hidden folder will be working as a local repository there. All the things, all the directories, all the files from the git will be inside that .git folder, and you cannot see this .git, since this .git is nothing but the hidden folder. I'll create it tomorrow. Okay, we'll be running all this Linux command tomorrow. We'll be pushing the command to the Azure repo, code to the Azure repos also. Okay, so initializing a git repository. Okay, once you initialize this, everything what is there as of now will not be in the git repository. First you have to add those things to the local git. Once added this to the local git, then you have to push that code to the remote github. Okay, so first of all thing, you have to do git init. So once I run a git init over here, it will create a local repository and it will be creating a .git folder here. And then different commands is there, like git add dot means whatever the files are there in the current repository, add it to git local repository. And then what I'll do a git commit. Now once I do git commit means I'm committing all those files to the git repository. Now why we are adding and why we are committing, I'll tell you that tomorrow. Okay, what is a working copy, how we work on that. Okay, how, why to add, why to commit, all these things. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, that's it for today. This was not the main thing. Okay, creating a project and all. From here, what we will be working as a DevOps, main things are all here. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Give me like a lab, something.
Yeah, after this, once we understand the working of repos and pipelines, we are having labs. Okay, so then we will be directly working on the labs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I need to install the Visual Studio?
Visual Studio, yeah, you can install. That will help you. Okay, just
Okay.
install it. Yeah.
I just find out that I have a laptop has a Linux